From the House of Suntory Whiskey, established in 1923. Japanese whiskey, 43% alcohol.
Oh, there it is.
Volume 86 proof.
Hell yeah. The great intro, bro.
Oh, fantastic. That's actually like very little lag. All right. Priesty, kick us off.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to the Orange Beanie Discord and all our beanie babies, as well as anybody else tuning in. This is our WatchBois Podcast with your hosts, me, Priesty, and kick it off, guys.
All right, well, I'm Fire. Hey, how you doing? We're
And I'm Sparrow.
I kind of wanted to just, take what you did last week and say your name for you, but I digress.
I'm sorry. I was taking the lead last week. I figured we could introduce ourselves this time.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Normally,
failed.
For the record, anybody that is here, we did not take time to get our shit together before starting this.
It's okay. My girlfriend's older brother flew in from Japan today, so I was spending time with their family, and we had to rush this out, so I apologize. Rushness.
What are you talking about? We do this with tender love and care, like SpongeBob with his crab. Every single one, we tuck into bed, kiss it goodnight, and then also have them sign a waiver so we can do that, and it's not like offensive or creepy or like.
There you go. I like it.
I'm sorry, Agent. Appreciate you coming in and commenting on the stream. We'll get our shit together.
we will try our very best.
Alrighty here. First off, I'd like to welcome the newest member. Note to self: we're gonna make a channel for the Discord so that I know who all the new members are. And since I didn't have time to scroll back, we're gonna go to the first one we see, and guess who that is? That's motherfucking. I don't know if I can say fuck.
It's fine, bro.
It's my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucking Big O. How do I say that?
So I just like to say for the record, for everybody, the historians coming back and looking at this, it literally took Spiral 2 podcasts to get too big for himself. His head just blew up, and he's tilting over. He's holding it up with his hand. I'm looking at him right now.
Mind you, the first 3 times I tried to get it together to record, Spiral canceled. So.
Yeah, well, he didn't say that directly. He had his people talk to his people. To say that he can't.
I'm a very business task-oriented man, which, by the way, welcome, Sicario, or however you say your name. I'm glad to have you here, buddy. I said hi to you, and I don't think you said... Oh, you gave me an emote of like a snowman. I think it's a bird holding a heart. That's cute. All right. There we go. We checked that one off. Priesty, how's your week in Overwatch been?
It's been pretty good, honestly. I've actually been kind of, I'd say experimenting, but that sounds like I'm still in college and I'm, getting a little frisky. But
are you not?
No. I have been in a very wonderful, committed relationship for years. But no, I've been playing a lot of Tracer and Doomfist and a bunch of new, just different heroes because I kind of wanted to, mix things up and not get as stuck into things as I had been before. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get a little bit burnt out playing the same stuff over and over.
You say that.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let me change. Okay, I love Reinhardt, but as of recently, I've been playing a lot more Lucio. It's definitely not on par where I feel super competent, where I could play him in like comp or anything. But it's really fun on the boopable maps. It's really fun to play him and see if I can get a little bit better with him, especially now with that recent boop buff.
Oh yeah,
it's been fun to.
How do you like it now? The boops for me anymore, they're just so much more consistent. Like the knockback distance, I can actually
I like
predict
it. I like
where
consistency.
they're going, and yeah, it's so much nicer now.
As a tank, I don't like it, but as a better game, I'd rather have there be consistent.
I'm gonna take a second here. This is gonna be a little bit long-winded, but it's worth it. To me, it's worth it. So hopefully you two have seen Napoleon Dynamite.
Absolutely.
So there's that one scene with Uncle Rico. He could throw the football over the mountains if he tried. He is showing a lady with pots, like literal pots.
Oh yeah. I know the scene you're talking about.
This is how I believe Jeff from the Overwatch team pitched the idea of, like, guys, we need to get bigger boops. We got to get them boops up. Like, they're about here, and he pulls out the pops. He pulls out the pots. He's like, our boops are about here. We need bigger boops. He gets out bigger pots. It's perfect. Exactly what happened.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they were thinking that this Lucio was a bit of a nerf with the speed decrease and everything, but as long as you're keeping your momentum with this additional boop thing, I think overall it's been fun.
Yeah.
Also,
if
hi,
you guys...
One Trick Diva.
Hi, Diva.
Thanks for tuning in, Diva.
If you guys do remember when Lucio hits the ground finally after all his wall bounces, he does maintain that momentum for a second, and if you they did not nerf that bunny hop, you can still B hop for a little bit.
Yeah, that is nice.
Random thought, I just learned, or I guess I should have known this, but I don't play him often. I just discovered that you could bunny hop with Winston. I never did that until like watching a pro do it yesterday, and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. Why didn't I do it with Reinhardt all the time? You can hold space at the end of his charge, but it's like...
Yeah. Well, it's like I've seen that, in pro play, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty neat. Never have I fucking tried it, but yeah.
I don't do too much. But
yeah. So Fire, how about you? How was your weekend?
I didn't get to play too much. Like, I didn't get to come to any of the Discord games. I didn't get man. It was rough. I was stuck at work most days, but today I had a good game. Today I had a bunch of good games. I just got the new Razor Black Widow in. That's actually kind of fucking nice. So I've been kind of getting used to rebinding things again and having a full-size keyboard.
Yeah.
And it's that's a rough one.
I've been rebinding stuff too, because like I tried to have. I know a couple of people in the Discord have like their melee on one of their mouse buttons, on like one of the side buttons. I tried it. I can't do it. I have to have my my abilities, my cooldowns on there. I don't know what it is. So like I've moved.
Oh yeah.
I've moved punch to like E. And I'm still fucking it. I'm still fucking shit up.
Oh shit! My punch has always been E. What's it been on yours normally?
I think it's like F or something. I don't know what the hell it was.
I want to say E. No, that was pick up in Borderlands. What the hell was punch for me? That was E. It just seemed natural because I got 2 buttons. Yeah. Well, is E default?
V is default.
V.
Yeah.
Fuck,
wait, hold on. One Trick Diva, are you saying that you have your
melee on
You have melee as Q, bro? That's wild.
That's weird, dude. You're fucking weird, dude.
I once saw somebody post like a highlight on Reddit, and like it was a really cool highlight. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but it was really cool. And then somebody in the comments pointed out, like, hold the fuck on. Is your ult on scroll? What the fuck?
That's fucking... That's a little funky.
So I did just rebind my Lucio. So it's really weird. So I've seen a lot of people use the scroll wheel, obviously, for like for their rollouts and stuff for Lucio for wall rides, and also left click as like a more control over the wall ride. And so I just rebound to that and moved my boop over to like middle, like click the scroll wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been finding like the timing on my boops are so much better, just because you have to think about using it and when to use it instead of just like, oh, right click.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to work so much better now. I'm hitting those boops a lot better. So if you play Lucio, all the Lucio guides tell you to rebind if you're really serious about it. And honestly, I'd suggest giving it a shot. It's been kind of cool.
And fun fact for those die-hard Lucio fans, if you are on the last letter in the bottom right corner of, I think it's like loading, I want to say, you can insta-lock Lucio. I posted a link in the Discord for those who want to immediately lock him in and play
Hell yeah.
those tryhards out there.
That's my favorite, dude.
let's break into these recent PTR patch notes that have been going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So for those that don't know, there was a PTR I think released yesterday, or the day before,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then there's a lot of bug fixes, and some of the more important ones are like the fact that Anna's T emote now has the proper steam coming off. You know what everybody's been waiting for: game breaking. It's beautiful
Hell
stuff,
yeah.
prime content. So some of the lesser known things are the fact that Reaper actually had a really interesting, I'd say
Yes.
buff. I'd say a
Oh,
big buff, honestly.
absolutely.
So his Shadow Step, people have been complaining about for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's his ability where he can teleport to places. It's always been super slow, and you can see where he's coming out, so you can just pick him off immediately. And it's also just it's super loud. I don't know if that ever
Yeah.
got changed, but it's so loud. So it's meant. It was originally meant to be an out of combat use, but they
Right.
moved it to where it's now able to be used in the air, so you can drop off something and use it.
Mm.
The
And for
time, yeah, you
sorry,
what?
I'll say for example, in clutch situations, if you had it almost ready, if a Lucio would go to boop you off, you could probably teleport back on there. The example I saw where someone jumped off the map or like jumped off a ledge and then tellied immediately to the next point. It's not immediate though. There is that I think it was zero point 0.5 seconds. Was that
Yep.
right?
Point 0.5
Yeah, it's zero point
seconds.
0.5 seconds to get out of it now. But I don't know. I think potentially we could use it for boops. I don't know how often a we'll say like mid-tier player will be ready to do that, but I think it'd be
Yeah,
interesting if
it's
the
like
pros get up and use it.
it's like how you can technically sometimes save yourself from being booped as a May with your wall, like throwing it right below you as you go off the wall, off the side. Does that mean it's actually going to work consistently and be an actual save? I don't know about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the other changes is the fact that Junk, they made it for his primary fire. The projectile speed went from 20 to 25, and that the grenades bounce less and explode sooner. So the whole point of that, I think, is to have him be able to shoot a little bit more consistently over longer ranges and have a little bit less of that spam bombs rolling around. Which personally, again, like I said earlier, I've been playing a lot of Tracer this week. Is a pain in the fucking ass. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I like the idea of his grenades having a fuse time on there. I've heard a lot of talk about people already planning strategies of just knowing like, oh, I haven't had a chance to play him on PTR,
Mhm.
but they're like, oh, if you shoot it off the wall and it has the opportunity to bounce once, a lot of players are trying to nail down that fuse time where
Mhm.
you can like work around so that it explodes right in someone's face rather than
Mm-hmm.
having to immediately, like hit them directly.
Right.
But I'm a little bit excited for this one. Um, Personally, I would prefer to go against a junk as opposed to a lot of people as a tank player. Um, I know that, and this is just another side thing. I think his projectile speed for Junkrat is
Uh-huh.
30 less than Farah now. I want to say that's correct, just to kind of give you an idea how fast he's going to be going.
Yep.
Um, but honestly, I kind of want goats to die, and I think this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So I did spend a little bit of time today on the PTR messing around with it, and
Hmm.
it just it's at this point it's more. I mean, like, yeah, it's gonna make impacts in game, but it just feels like a quality of life improvement. You can aim a little better.
Hmm.
It's not so, you're not relying on spam kills as much anymore. You can actually aim a little bit and really get
Yeah,
those,
this will
like,
definitely help with those lower bracket players.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely be able
But at
to
the same time, I
finish
think
off.
Reaper is still
Uh,
going to be fucking up low tier, especially with this recent buff. And to kind of harp back or go back to Reaper for a second, I don't think Shadow Step is going to be that great. I joke around saying those low tier players are going to have a hard time with them.
oh
That's just
yeah,
because Reaper can heal himself efficiently and dish out a lot of damage
oh
if
yeah,
you're even slightly skilled in the lower tier.
Yeah.
But that portal, Reaper's invisible that entire time, but the little
yeah,
portal platform is still there. it's not going to take people very long to be like, that's where a Reaper's head's going to pop up in the next
Is
0.5
that?
seconds.
I
Yeah,
can't remember. I thought the whole thing was invisible.
the little portal is still
Well,
there.
it's visible to you, but has anybody done a video of where it's on the opposite team?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
So the video that I've seen. So this is, I guess, on me for
Maybe it's
doing
opposite
not enough
team.
research. So what I've seen is somebody in like the training range,
Yeah, that's what I
where
was
they're
going
like
with.
jumping off a thing and then doing the portal. Naturally, you can see the portal or the shadow step, whatever the hell you want to call it, where you're coming out on your screen because you need to, because it tells you where you're going. But I don't know if the other team can
That's
see
fair.
that.
Yeah, I don't know that either. I was just under the assumption that because I don't think there's any other ability that like is hidden from anyone unless it's like
Have you heard
sonar.
of I was gonna say, have you heard of a character named Sam?
Okay, well, that's different. That's okay, well,
How
okay.
is
You
it
know what?
different?
I'll shut up. You're right. You might be right on that one. I have to wait and see in the
Because
PTR how
one's
it is.
like possibly like death juice, and the other one's technology.
Death juice. I guess technically it's both technology because didn't Mercy make Reaper or
Moira, I
something
think.
funky like that?
I think it was-
Moira.
No,
I think it was
Moira.
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 Looks like Baker's got a question for us in the chat.
He
Can we
does.
discuss Tracer not getting her 400 damage ult back in the middle of an anti-tank meta? Yeah, I guess we can chat about that. I think Tracer easily was the best DPS character in Overwatch back at the time with the 400 damage ult.
Absolutely.
But I don't think that. I mean, yeah, this was big because she could put out fucking insane damage with that ult. But if you put one clip into any character, even a tank, and then throw the bomb, I think excluding Roadhog, you can probably get a kill on them. So I don't think that it's totally necessary, and I don't think giving her that ult back with the goats meta would change anything.
No.
I think you still got Brigida, you still got all the heals. I don't think it'd go much anywhere.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think Tracer can still be effective without that 400 ult. Very effective.
I don't know, Priesty, what do you think? You're the one that's been playing her.
True.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is it's also you're talking to somebody who's been playing her for a week. So the fact if I hit a pulse bomb, it's not necessary. It was a Hammond on like 100 health in the first place, and I had a clip. I panicked. It happens. You've been caught. You've knifed people around a corner. It's like me with flick shots. It happens. It's not on purpose. Honestly, I think the biggest thing for Tracer right now, even though she didn't get her 400 damage ult back, she technically sort of has a buff because of the fact that armor has a nerf. Now it doesn't. Was it like from 5 damage taken off to 2 damage taken off or something like that?
3.
So it's okay. Yeah. So that's a pretty decent buff to her because a lot of the damage that she's putting in is real quick. So it's either starting off on a kill or ending a kill. Naturally, not everybody has armor at the bottom of their health, but I think she's going to be really good now that there's that armor nerf because people are still going to be able to dance around stuff a lot more too. So
do we know if her ultimate increases with Baptiste's ult when thrown through? Is that a thing?
Things like Dragon and other stuff aren't. I know Moira Ball is, but I don't know about
Moira's ult is?
No, the ball.
Oh, okay. I was about to fucking say that's crazy.
Yeah, if
Moira go back to
that actually would be interesting because you think about it, that would be healing too.
Yeah, it does. It
I'm
does
gonna have to
double
look that up.
healing as well.
Baker wanted to re-comment and say 74 hours on her. Her ult feels like she's meant to not coordinate with the team, and that's my issue. I can kind of see that, but I think that ultimately is going to boil down to your comms with the team.
Right.
Just off the top of my head, I think grab immediately. In certain situations, shatter, depending if you're trying to look for a big play, because in my opinion, one pick is good. Like getting a pick on a very specific character can be massive. In GOATs, it seems like anytime the Reinhardt goes down, that's the fight, and then the other team rolls through. So if you can get that stick on that Reinhardt, I mean, in this case, I guess you all wouldn't be running GOATs against it, but that's a big enough play.
So my take on Tracer, my take on Tracer is that she's meant to be a flanker. She's not like she's meant to be able to go out on her own and be kind of survivable. And it's like, you know, her blinks get the fuck out of the way, and the recalls and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, she's great for flanking and being on her own and getting in and out really, really quick. So, like, her playstyle kind of dictates you like more target backline and healing,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you get that good grab or good grab. Wow, I'm too busy reading chat. You get that good pulse bomb. You get that good pulse bomb on like a Zenyatta, an Ana, just any support.
Yeah.
That's it. That's huge. Your team has a huge advantage. Now it's 6v5 plus they're down a healer.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I personally
feel
never
like,
imagined Tracer as somebody with the. In certain circumstances, she could get, you know, like a triple or a quad. Like we've all seen it happen. I know a couple people in the chat have even shared highlights where they've gotten quads with a Tracer bomb. But I like to think of her almost as like a Sombra-esque character. Like you were saying
Mhm.
earlier, she's flanking around trying to get picks. She's not trying to get those massive, like 5, 6 kills, but she's
right.
looking for the
Yeah.
kills that really matter.
She's looking to
Well,
get that
This, and
initial.
let me just say, this is coming from a tank main, so I don't know shit about Tracer. This is just my personal opinion.
From a support perspective, I'm always usually in the back line, and that's usually where the tracers show up. And holy hell, if you are a tracer and you just think guerrilla warfare, like in out, quick hit, get out, recover, get back in, quick hit, get out, recover. If you play that way and just like harass the shit out of the enemy backline, dude, it's the most tilting thing in the world for the enemy healers. And
Oh, yeah.
now I have to focus on you instead of focusing on my team. So if you can just
Yeah.
fuck with the enemy healers, dude, you're creating a huge advantage for your team just in and
Yeah.
of itself by doing
I mean,
that.
yeah. For example, like constantly having to turn around just for the fear of a tracer or something like
Oh,
a Genji
constantly,
too.
dude, constantly.
That'll lead you to maybe say you're an Ana, you turn around, one of your guys in the front line gets jumped on, and then you can't heal him in that exact moment or
Yeah.
whatever else. But like,
Or
I mean, to touch on your all's points on how Tracer seems like she kind of goes off on her own. She doesn't really kind of work well with a team. Maybe my kind of devil's advocate kind of counterpoint is the fact that she was mainly like one of the main people in dive, and that was entirely team coordination. It had to be all at once to really work as well as it could. So we know she's not necessarily getting like if Tracer had the radius of a diva bomb, that'd be unreasonable. That's why she has. That's why she has to throw it, and why it has to be so small.
Yeah, and that 400 damage bomb was practically a bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's a bomb, but it's not a nuclear bomb like Diva. You know what I'm saying? God, how did we go off on this Tracer tangent? I guess it's Baker. Thank you, Baker, for the question.
Yes, Baker, you're killing it.
So we're gonna move on. So now we were talking originally about like a lot of the PTR stuff, but kind of transition in a little bit more of the current stuff that was on PTR recently that just got dropped as well with Baptiste. We were earlier talking about the boop buff and how that was straight out of Napoleon Dynamite. And then one thing that I wanted to talk about, the fact that I have seen so much more Soldier. And while it sucks to get dicked on by an old man, it's kind of, I can respect
an old gay man.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I fucking knew that was coming. I was like, don't
you do it.
What's funny is I'm starting to think that J.K. Rowling might have started.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh fucking hell! Yeah, I've noticed him a lot more. Soldier.
I have too.
In my gameplay. He's been a bitch. There's a couple people out there that I guess have been old Soldier mains and have just been waiting for a little bit of a buff because I second Priesty and that I've been getting dicked on.
Dude, let me tell you, I was just before we started the recording, I was just in the training room and I was just dicking around with Soldier, and what the fuck? It's dope, dude. Like, it's so dope. Like, I'm just melting these bots, and I'm like, maybe I should be a Soldier main.
Now, if only I could hit scan, then I'd play Soldier. That's one of the things I struggle with. Is hell, I mean, it's not hit scan, but I transitioned to Lucio because I'm like, it's not necessarily a head scan, but
Right.
I'm trying to work my way in there. I'm realizing that there's more to this world than Reinhardt. Dare I say it?
Yeah, it'd be
There
crazy.
is,
That's
there
a
is.
very interesting thought, to play a FPS game where you're actually a shooter.
I throw fire. I throw fire.
With a
you shoot
hammer.
fire?
With a
I
hammer.
shoot fire out of my fucking hammer. That's badass. If I could have a hammer in COD that shot fire, you bet your ass I'm picking that fire hammer every single time.
I thought you were about to say you shit fire, and I was like, I mean,
Hell yeah.
That too.
Hell yeah, brother.
That Doba from last night. I tell you what, not warming it up was a bad idea.
Oh, dude.
I had a
got a little
burrito,
coli
and he
growing in
decided to eat a cold ass burrito because he thought,
I was
he's cool.
hungry.
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
you, I was hungry.
So,
sorry.
important thing.
I like cold
One
things.
thing that we were gonna touch on, but we
I
kinda
eat
touched
cold
on earlier.
chili out of a can. Okay,
Good
that's it.
fucking lord, dude. Go see somebody. You need help.
Look, college did things to me, man.
Apparently.
There's nothing wrong with Hornell's vegetarian chili in the pull tab can. Eat it cold. That's what I did in college.
Yeah,
That's how I survived in college. This isn't an Overwatch podcast anymore. This is a Hornell commercial. Go buy Hornell.
God. We're gonna get taken down by Hornell because, like, who the fuck is trying to sponsor us with this bullshit?
You're gonna come
Sponsored by
after us,
Hornell
dude.
chili. If Hornell comes after me, then I'll know I've made it in life.
So I'm looking at our show notes here, and I'm seeing that. So we wanted to talk about how you think Baptiste is how we think he's going to impact the meta. And
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Sorry,
the chat is flaming us.
Chat
Is
wants
it?
us.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah, agent wants us to take a look. I'll go ahead and read it up. It says, to the podcast, I do feel like COD and casual shooters have dulled a lot of people's FPS instincts, though. I can see what you mean by that.
I do get that.
I feel like COD is very straightforward. And I guess it kind of depends on what console or what system you're playing on.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a little different with COD, maybe, but modern COD's been changing the formula. It's been a lot of that. What the fuck is it called now? What type of game genre?
Battle Royale.
Yeah, there's been a lot more battle royale. So I'd argue that there's a lot more situational awareness that you have to have. So it may have not. Maybe back in the day, it's dulled it a lot, but I think. This new generation of first-person shooters has helped a little.
I think battle royale games are kind of like forcing people to recognize and develop their game sense a little bit more, just because of the pure competitive aspect of it. You want to be the last guy standing. So now you got to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings, and it just kind of forces the game sense upon you. And I think that's kind of cool, because then if you transition into something like Overwatch or some sort of MOBA, or
then you'll immediately become a DPS player and run off on your own.
or like an MMO or something, you at least kind of have a little bit of a situational awareness, or just kind of have it ingrained in you, whether you're aware of it or not. Just hearing like an audio cue on the left side of your headset, like, oh, maybe I should get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah,
and I think it's neat. I think it's a good step forward in the right direction with FPS games.
That being said, I'm not crazy about Battle Royale. I prefer team-based games, but that's just me.
Everyone's got their cup of tea. I do agree with that.
I have a similar feeling, but for different reasons. I'm not big on them because it requires more skill, which I have less of in the first place.
Agreed.
Which is why I play the characters that I...
Fair enough. I won't argue with that.
I started out playing Junk when I started the game.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Junkrat.
That was also like Prime. I think just after I got the game, he got the two mines buff. Oh,
that was
and they didn't
dope.
have like the radius nerf yet.
Oh yeah. That was dope. I miss old Junk mines.
I don't miss old Reinhardt. But that's a different story for
Yes,
a
it
different
is.
time.
Yes, it is.
Back to we were talking about Baptiste and how he is currently with this meta,
Yes,
correct?
I
Oh,
did
I
want
mean,
to address. I wanted to jump right onto the low tier because hi, it's your boy here, low tier AF.
Good.
So I see the point. I don't know which one of you guys threw that in there, but people using him as a DPS. So
Yeah, that was
I've
me.
been playing games with people who just immediately yoink Baptiste, which has become less of an issue now that he's been out for a few
Mhm.
days. People aren't just immediately yoinking him, or he's not even in every game anymore, which is thank fucking God relieving. Um, but
Yeah.
dude, I'm out healing a Baptiste every time with like a Zenyatta, with a Lucio, and I'm like, bro, I know Baptiste. I've played him. I've gotten over 10k healing in like a quick play game with him. I know the motherfucker can heal. But
He can,
I'm
yeah.
uh, but yeah, it depends on your positioning and your team's positioning, obviously. But at the same time, like I should not have gold healing with 2,000 with Zenyatta on, and you're playing a Baptiste. Like, homie, let's
Yeah.
get it together. I think you're right. Yeah, they see his primary fire as a gun, and they're like, oh, let's fucking DPS this shit.
And that being said, if you're a little bit skilled with him, he can be great. But
Absolutely.
you need to stick with your team, focus. Just remember you're a support player. There's
He's
nothing like fucking I'll try to stop the fuckings. Like Zenyatta is great at dishing out DPS, but
yes,
remember your
but
orbs, which I guess it's
his
a little
job
easier with orbs.
his job
Oh,
is
I
a healer.
remember. I remember
Yeah.
my orbs. I put Discord orb down, and then I think on
I just W mouse one.
hell yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I agree. He's fantastic for like say finishing off like a low health target that's trying to like bounce out of the fight. He's great for that really quick clutch pick. He's great for burning people down in the middle of a fight. But always remember, you are a healer. Try and play your role. Your job, your main job, is to keep your team up, especially your
True.
other
Yeah.
healer. As a
I'm
healer,
also
make sure you keep
I'm
your
also
partner up.
I'm also genuinely looking forward to see how it is played in professional play because
Oh
I
my
think that's a
God,
lot
yeah.
of the ways that people start to get an idea of how different ways to play different
Yeah,
characters.
I'm super
Um,
excited to see how he's going to be played professionally.
yeah,
Yeah. Stay on the high ground,
Absolutely,
constantly,
high ground wins fights, bro.
especially with that crouch jump. It's real easy to get up
Oh
there,
my
and
God, it's so
you're
good.
gonna have a much easier time laying down fire when you
can
can on the enemy,
absolutely.
and also healing your teammate.
It's a huge escape tool. You can just quick
Mhm.
bounce, self heal, and just start spamming heals on your team from safety. It's a wonderful
I know
thing.
I know some people have mentioned how they wish it was on a cooldown, but I'm kind of glad it's not because I feel like that'd just be
Yeah,
too clunky.
Unnecessary. Yeah.
yeah. That's like
Agreed.
putting wall climbs on a cooldown. Like that. Why?
Yeah, it is
Why?
a bit.
That's just it's not necessary necessarily.
Yeah, totally agree there. And I put mid tier on here, but I just don't think people know how to play him, and we're not gonna know how to play him
Yeah.
until we see the pros play him, or we've had significant time to really get a feel for him. But
Right.
Mhm.
briefly mentioning the pros, um, I saw this thing on Reddit. I believe this character's name, or excuse me, the Reddit user's name was Icarus.
Mhm.
But there's an animation cancel with Baptiste where I don't think it's necessarily a cancel, but it's sneaking in a shot in between your heal grenades, and it essentially looks like you're shooting both at the same time.
Oh, neat.
Now, this would require some ungodly flicks from
Yeah.
your team to the enemy, or
Yeah.
potentially
Or if
it
they're
could,
all in a pile.
yeah, or you could create, yeah, or a pile, or like spamming if you're like sticking behind your main tanks and you're
Mhm.
spamming that grenade heal. You can also spam the damage if there
Right.
is something in front of you.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
think that'll
neat.
be interesting to see, and if it's not a bug, I'm very interested to see how the pros attempt this, because
And a
if there's
heads
anyone
up,
who can, go
a
ahead.
heads up for people is that he he's pretty easy to reload cancel,
Yeah.
just because he reloads real fast. Like the numbers update real quick. So if you hit reload and then hit punch, it'll just
Yeah.
default.
Yeah. It's
It'll
very
like
very
save a ton
quick.
of time.
Just keep in mind, as with every new hero, there's going to be like a grace period where everybody plays with them, figures out what works best, and then we're going to start finding the bugs. We're going to start seeing what's fucking broken. And, a month or two, he's probably going to get a nerf, like most of the time happens with new characters.
I'd like to see that shield get a significant cooldown.
Absolutely.
Like
I feel that that should be an ultimate, in my opinion. But that's just me personally.
Immortality field.
Yeah. But so I think we're really gonna see Baptiste come into his own and make his place in Overwatch once he finally gets settled and balanced after his initial release, and that's when I think we're really gonna start seeing people settle into maining Baptiste and really finding those really neat tips, tricks, and like little things that you can do that every hero has. Find those good combos, and it'll take a little bit of time, but I feel like we're gonna have a good solid guide on how to use them and use them well.
Yeah, and kind of, I know you mentioned it. He's probably gonna end up getting a nerf, as a lot of characters who get released end up getting nerfed soon after. But I kind of wish Jeff just pops out on a developer update. He's like, hey guys, it's Jeff. Oh yes. With Jeff, he's like, hey, it's Jeff from the Overwatch team. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed playing Baptiste. But what we're here thinking internally is that we need bigger Baps. About this big. And then he holds up the pans, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm going to buy so much shit from just to support that.
It's only a matter of time.
We need to set up a Patreon to fund this.
Get bigger Baps.
Hell yeah.
Fuck. All right, so we're going to finally move on. And this next topic, something that I thought would be kind of interesting, just because I genuinely would love to hear some of the people in the Discord, and especially you two here now, kind of like, what's the background of, we all have different gamer tags, and sometimes people have multiple of them. But where did yours come from? I think I had mentioned previously in our first episode that Priesty is actually my second iteration of gamertag, my first one being Silver Priest, but then I went down to Bronze, and then I got called Bronze Priest, and then I felt bad to the point that Taz had an alt account. I got on there, and then I paid him for it so I could change my name.
I'm sorry. That's so awesome.
And Priesty's my regular nickname, because for those that don't know, Priest is my last name, and there's a couple of Connors in our friend group, so they just started calling me Priesty, and it just kind of stuck. But
I like Priesty. It works.
I know.
I like Silver Priest too. It's a good name. Do you ever get on that old account anymore?
No, actually, I don't think I've gotten on there in a long time.
Oh man,
we should revisit it.
See
what it used to be like to be Silver Priest.
My settings probably are all shit because I was playing on a fucking laptop back.
It's fine, but we'll climb out of Bronze together, bro.
You could queue up in Bronze and tear ass with Hanzo.
Bro, honestly, I'll just pocket you.
Don't give me ideas.
Bro, I'll just pocket you and call it a day. It'll be great.
Yeah. All right, so
go ahead, Fire.
Who's first?
What's your story? And if there's anyone in the chat, people might just be listening. Feel free to share your story, or we can get you pulled into this conversation to share your tale.
Absolutely. Fire, go ahead. If not, you can go ahead and put it in the Discord.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to read it out loud for everybody. So I actually just recently changed my gamer tag since I was 16. I was edgy and emo, and it was Obsidian 666 or something that. For
boy. I used to have the same shit
for 12 years. Let me tell you, and I decided to get back into PC gaming, and I was all right, I should probably rebrand because nobody's gonna tune into that. And I work at a restaurant, at a higher end pizza joint. Well, high end is, that's being very gracious. It looks when you first walk in.
Pizza Hut's been doing great recently. No, I don't mean to do that to you. I just had to.
So when I first started there, fucking terrible. I couldn't remember the menu for my life. So anytime I sent a pizza through the oven, it would come out. They're like, "Yo, we need a refire." And
Oof.
so eventually it kept sticking. And I was like, you know, it'd be really funny if I just fucking change like if I just changed all my shit to refire.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
love
And
that.
like
Giving me
just as like
ideas.
a pointing the finger at myself and laughing because it was just so
Yeah.
funny. Like it was every day, dude. I was terrible. I don't know how I didn't get fired, but yeah. And
Hey.
then
See what you
so
did
I
there.
was like, dude, fuck it, refire because that's all
Hell
I fucking
yeah,
do
dude.
here. And then I made my alt account, which was fire because I don't.
So we're gonna come back for episode 3 of this podcast. And you're gonna be the hosts are gonna be Refire, Spiral, and Bronze Priest, just so I can start pointing the finger at myself.
Oh,
Hell
God.
yeah, dude.
So sorry.
It doesn't fucking matter. I don't care.
So I guess are you done with your story?
Yeah, man, send
Should
it.
I take over? Okay. For Spiral, harping on what you used to say, I used to be a little. I wasn't emo. I like to think I was. I was a little
You
edgy.
attempted to be.
I attempted to be.
You
It
were
didn't
on
work
the
out.
inside.
Yeah, that's for
You were
sure.
also wearing cowboy boots.
I'm spiraling,
was-
Mrs. Puff.
I was I was referencing Kingdom Hearts with this name, but I was Heartless, followed by a couple numbers and many a game for a long period of time. And then whenever I wanted to try getting into YouTube, um, I adopted the name Orange Beanie Guy, which is a different time for a different story. But when it came to Overwatch, I couldn't fit
You could
Orange Beanie Guy
also
on there.
tell the Orange Beanie Guy story. I
Well,
mean, that
we'll,
helped.
we'll share that for a different one. That's
Okay.
that's a good one. But
We can
I'll
hit that
focus
next
with
week.
That'll be
Minecraft.
an anniversary story.
Oh,
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
But with Overwatch, I couldn't fit Orange Beanie Guy, and I could try to type OBG, but I didn't like the idea of people calling me OBG or OBGYN or anything like that. And I was like, that just
I didn't even think about that.
100% I would have called you OBGYN. 100% I would have. In a heartbeat.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I would have.
I don't know if I
asking
would have
for,
even
like,
joined this
fucking-
Discord. Honestly.
Oh my god!
so yeah.
Holy shit. I can't believe I never thought of that. God
Really?
damn it.
That's the
I'm mad
first
at
thing!
myself.
Oh
The
my
first thing I
god.
thought about.
Oh,
You guys are
shit.
wild.
Well, so that's why I didn't have the name OBG. So I started to think about it's like, well, what are the other things that I really like at the time that I purchased Overwatch? And first thing that came to my mind was Spyro, which is a 3D PlayStation platformer.
Love it.
It just got a new re-release on the PS4 and Xbox. Highly
Yes, it
recommend
did. It's
playing it. I
beautiful.
haven't played it yet, but I think I'm
Oh,
going to be getting it
dude,
here in the
it's
next
so
2 weeks.
nice.
And then I also liked this anime called Gurren Lagann. It's one of my top 3 animes, if not my favorite anime. And there's a very specific thing revolving spirals and spiral energy. So I was
Yeah.
like, Spyro, spiral. And I was like, yeah, I could get that to work. And originally, there was a scene from Gurren Lagann where one of the main characters, his eyes were in spirals. And I was like, I fucking like that. That's rad as hell. So I went with
I want that.
so I went with the name Spiral Eyes for the longest time, or as my friends referred to me in Overwatch, Spiralese.
Who could have
Taz.
ever done that?
Fucking Taz, if you're out there, I love you, buddy. But I got tired of that real quickly, and Taz eventually he shot me the proposal. Be like, why not just Spiral? It's short, sweet, to the point, and I finally went through with it, and I'm very happy with Spiral. Spiral is
Yeah.
way better than Spiral Eyes because nobody took me seriously with Spiral Eyes. And
That's
that's how we
awesome.
got this name.
Yeah,
Fucking,
I realize everybody who I would have so many people be like, "Oh, do you play WoW? I have a priest character too." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cool." No,
It's pretty cool.
all right, I gotta go. It just started. Yeah, my mom has an appointment at the
Oh man.
post office.
I also couldn't see my real life friends who also play Overwatch calling me heartless or something like that. Because ironically, in real life, when I'm seeing it doesn't work for you, Priesty, because I call you Priesty in real life.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Um,
People have called me that for like a decade now.
But for example, Taz or Randy Junkyard, two of my friends that I grew up with. I call them Taz and Randy in real life by mistake sometimes. Like, yo, Taz, Randy, how's it going? I'm like, oh shit, you know your names.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name drop
Well,
them on the
hell,
podcast.
like Dizzy, like
Yeah, Dizzy. Oh,
we,
fucking, I was calling him Dizzy when he was visiting
yeah.
us.
So like Dizzy, for you, I don't know if you've heard this, but Spiral and I used to be RAs. Like we would, we had a floor at the dorms at our college, and Dizzy worked there as a graduate assistant. So he was technically our boss. So we knew him for like 2 years. And now we just call him Dizzy, which is kind of funny.
It works. Great. It just fucking works. I don't know. There's something nice about, and this is going to sound weird, possibly a little cringy. There's something nice about not being yourself and going under a different alias. Personally, I always have liked that idea. I've always enjoyed the idea of like hey, I have 3 game files. I can be Noah here and Spiral here. That's kind of.
And then Poon Slayer 69.
We never mentioned that one. We never ever mentioned Poon Slayer. Not in this house. Not in this Discord. Not on this podcast. By the way, there is no Poon Slayer.
That's what you want to think.
Don't look for it.
I don't have a Poon Slayer.
Go look for
name.
it.
There's no alt account named
Someone,
Poon Slayer.
Baker,
I swear to God.
get on it.
Taz, if you...
I said Taz.
I meant Priesty, if you fucking throw me under the bus like that again, I'm gonna have to fucking ring out to have words, man. You're gonna have to have words.
Okay. No.
Also, for those that don't know, I live with Spiral. Like, he owns a house, and I just bum off him.
Hell yeah.
I am your landlord.
Sometimes I throw money his way. Sometimes I do other things, like favors. We don't
Sexual favors.
Whoa! The Orange Beanie Guy Discord does not promote.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's perfect.
Okay. With that, I'll transition into a quick recap followed by a couple announcements for the Discord. Just wanted to say we had a first successful game night, I thought, outside of Overwatch. We had a couple people come in and we played Quiplash via stream. I can't remember the full amount of people that was in there, but it was an absolute blast. I look forward to any and all of you all joining us next time. I'd love to buy more Jackbox party games for us all to play. And if there's other things down the road, or if you have suggestions that you'd like the Discord to play as a group, or hell, maybe you wanna, I don't know, just get a visual novel. We could go through that together.
Jesus,
we could do.
People aren't gonna sit there and watch you.
Doki Doki.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ignore that last part.
So, for those that don't know, the Quiplash was streamed on Spiral's YouTube channel. I think it's called Orange Beanie Guy, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So it's on his YouTube. We can probably put a link in the Discord for those that have not gotten the chance to see it, because I had a blast. Honest God, it was a lot of fun. I'm not just saying that because I won one of the rounds, but I'm also not going to say which round that was. So to find out, you're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of watching things, actually, I'll touch on that on the last bit here. We're gonna do a quick announcement. Ugh, fuck.
Good Lord, get it together.
A reminder that the Orange Beanie Guy Discord does not promote voyeurism and touching things on adult.
We do not promote swearing. No swearing.
No
swearing.
No swearing.
Watch your
in the
fucking
Discord.
mouth, man.
Announcements. This Wednesday we'll be having the Discord scrimmage, usual time, 9 to 10:30. We've been saying 11, but they tend to trickle out around 10:30, so we'll shoot for that. This coming Thursday, we're going to try and hold a free-for-all along with the custom games like paintball or simball, or just stick with free-for-all. We'll see what the audience has to say about that, or we can just have that be an open night. And then on Sunday, we're going to try again to do a game night from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go ahead and try and do Quiplash again. I'll be taking ideas, surveys from the audience if you'd like to see a different Jackbox game or a different game in general from game night. Maybe look into doing Tabletop Simulator or something like that down
awesome.
the road.
Yeah. Quick little thing I do want to add. I won't be able to make the Thursday or Sunday game nights. Wednesday I will be able to do. I have off tomorrow, so I can hang out with you guys tomorrow. But we we the WatchBois Podcast guys here, we're gonna start inviting some of you guys from the community here onto the stream with us.
Yeah,
Once
boy.
a month, we're gonna do a community episode. We're gonna bring somebody on from the Orange Beanie Guy Discord. If you want a spot on the show with us, please message me, Spiral, or Priesty with your name and what you want to discuss on the Discord. Like what raging topic is burning in your heart of hearts that you want to come on here and you need people to know about. Just
yeah, we'll be your soapbox. I'll get behind you and say whatever the fuck you're doing.
I'll get passionate. I will fight tooth and nail for your opinion.
We want to hear from you guys. So we're gonna once a month we're gonna bring you guys on. Send one of us a message with what it is you want to talk about. Again, doesn't necessarily have to be Overwatch. Whatever you want to talk about, we're gonna make a list and we'll start organizing things and getting back to you guys with, dates, times, topics, ideas, and all that good stuff.
And for those of you who are just now listening or will be listening in the future, any podcast that we do live, we will be clipping and sharing highlights of it that following Friday. So I believe that'll be the 29th of this month, if that's correct.
That would be correct.
Jeez, why do you have to date the podcast?
I'm so sorry.
So, did you already
26, 2019?
Did you already do the
The first one has not been posted. Okay. It'll be posted along with this. This is for all future casts. The following Friday will be shared.
All right, you heard it here first.
And we will share that inside. We'll either create an archive channel for these, or I will post or mention you all in the Discord to let you know what's going to.
Yep. And just a heads up for anybody who gives a shit. So probably Spiral. I guess that's probably about it. But I'm not going to actually be able to attend basically any of the next week's community events because I will be across the pond.
Oh,
I am visiting my little sister. My whole family's going. She's studying abroad in England.
Wow!
So
right,
I just went through a couple-month process of getting all my passport and all shit together.
That's such a hassle.
Yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass. I
it's gonna be a blast,
finally got it all. It's gonna be fucking dope. I flew for the first time in years in like January and loved it. So
nice.
Naturally, now I'm gonna love it even more because I'm gonna be on like a 6.5-hour flight.
Heck
with
yeah.
drinks.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Alrighty, boys. Let's wrap her up here. We'll go ahead and you got any last things to say to wrap up this podcast before we start plugging ourselves?
Well,
whoa. We can't plug ourselves on podcast.
Not live, Spiral.
Footage. There's no video footage. They're not seeing anything.
This isn't an ASMR. I don't want them to hear that.
Now you got me curious about ASMR.
Well, anybody wants to hang out or play any games, I'm off all day tomorrow, so please feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, I'm usually on in the mornings. I'm always happy to play with you guys. I'm usually on in the mornings until about early afternoon, and then I'm back on after work, which is usually around 10 p.m. or later, depending on the day. But yeah, if you guys are looking to play with casters or just looking to try and grind or fun in QP, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to play with you.
I return home from work pretty much every day at 5, get home or get on around 6-ish, give or take some. Always feel free to give me a message if you're all looking. I'm always looking for a couple of people to group up with. And Priesty, I don't know if you want to drop any time that you normally play.
Well, I mean, I have pretty much the same kind of schedule that Spiral does, yeah. Except for days that I am supposed to be working from home, and sometimes I'll throw in a game or two in the middle of the day, but we don't want to talk.
Alrighty, with that, I'm going to go ahead and plug my stuff, and y'all can follow up behind me. Once again, I am Spiral via Overwatch and this Discord, aka Orange Beanie Guy. If you want to find me on any social media platforms, there we are. It's just that Orange Beanie Guy. You'll probably find me on Tumblr, YouTube, Instagram, or this Discord channel. Most of the Discord content is going to be posted on the Orange Beanie Guy YouTube channel. I tend to, or at least I'm tending to not post as much personal content. I think I'm actually going to be going back and removing a lot of the old streams and stuff to make it just for the Discord. So if you'd like to look at previous games we played, I know there's a couple videos on there of us all playing free for all together, and heck, even a couple comp games. Feel free to check that out. Pre-seat and or fire.
Go ahead, Bracey.
You got
All
anything?
right. Well, I'll actually plug my Instagram for once.
There you go.
You can find me at cpriesty, like C, the letter, like, you know,
Spell it out.
in child or science. But yeah, it's that, and then I technically I have it in here that I do have a YouTube, but
Do you?
there's a series on there from.
Oh boy.
Oh, you ain't about to drop that, are you?
Hell yeah, let's go.
No.
Are you about to drop that?
No,
That's
so I'm not saying what it is.
that's
I'm saying that maybe someday, just like with finding out where Orange Beanie Guy came from, we might see what I have.
Is
I'm gonna have
that
to
the-
privatize it?
Is that the thing in the
there's a
show
couple-
notes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't say it.
I
Don't
won't.
say
I
it.
won't.
Definitely don't say
I
that.
won't say it.
There's a couple videos we're gonna have to review before that gets released.
Hell yeah.
There's possibly footage of a bunch of young podcast casters rolling around in the woods being fucking idiots.
Hell yeah.
Oh no!
That sounds
yeah.
awesome.
It's definitely what it is.
But we'll share that. We'll hold off on that for a
Hell yeah.
moment.
All right. Well, if you want to find me, my name is Fire on the Discord. If you want to find me on any of my socials, I'm on twitch.tv at RefireOFC. Fire spelled the same way as it is in the Discord. Twitter is Refire, YouTube is Refire, Instagram is RefireOFC, and I've also just started streaming more casually on a streaming platform called Caffeine. If you've been keeping up in the streams channel, you've seen me post a few links. It's really simple. It's really easy to set up, and it's just more of a casual streaming environment. I don't have to spend hours tweaking things, and it's just it's nice to just kind of launch a game that you want to stream and just click stream and not worry about anything else. If you guys see me online playing Overwatch, I'm probably streaming on Caffeine if you want to hang out and talk.
Yeah.
But
I normally have a pretty steady stream of Caffeine, but that's me.
And that's where we're going to leave this night on. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Links in the description below.
Love you. Bye.